Okay, so what fraction of the circle is part B?
Quarter.
What fraction of the circle is part D?
Sixth.
Okay, thank you. So here are some pattern blocks.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think about how many blues would you need to cover the yellow?
Three.
Okay, blue is what fraction of yellow?
What do you mean?
Blue is what fraction of yellow?
Third.
So blue is 1/3 of yellow.
Yeah.
How many blues would you need to cover the red?
One and a half.
Okay, so blue is what fraction of red? So what fraction is the blue compared to the red? Blue is what fraction of the red?
Well, it looks like that. I'm not really sure how to... It's one, and then there's a half left. I don't know what you mean.
If yellow is 1, what is the value of the blue?
1/3.
So if blue is 1, what is the value of red?
1.5.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to have a look at these dots. What fraction of the dots is black?
2/3.
And what is another name for that fraction? What is another name for 2/3? What's another name for 2/3? Another way of saying 2/3.
12/18.
Okay. So this one's just going to be done in your head. What is 1/2 of 6?
1/2 of the fraction.
So 1/2 of 6.
3.
What is 1/5 of 10?
2.
What is 2/3 of 9?
2/3 of 9. 6.
What is 1/3 of a half? 1/3 of a half.
What do you mean 1/3 of a half?
1/3 of a half.
Oh, a sixth.
Okay. How did you solve this?
Because 1/3 of a half, if you cut a half into 3, you've got 3 bits. Can I just do it on the back of this paper? So if you've got here and you cut it into 3 bits, you've got 3 things, and then if the other half would need to be equal.
So that's what you saw in your head?
Yeah.
You saw that happening in your head?
Yeah.
So what is 1/2 of 1/3?
A half of a third. A sixth.
Okay. And how did you solve that?
Because double 3 is 6.
Okay. So I want you to draw me a number line on here, and I want you to put 2/3 on it.
How would you
2/3 on that number line? If you can put 2/3 on the number line.
With like 2/3 of a number, like
so put 2/3 on that number line.
Okay. So do you want me to put 2/3?
So you show me where on that number line would 2/3 go?
So if this was a if this was a whole and it's cut into 3, then it would be here.
So what would be there on the number line?
Like I don't know where to put it.
You're drawing it, so you can choose what you put wherever you want. Can you show me 2/3? So that's 3/3, that's 2/3, that's 1/3. Where would the 0 go?
That's where I'm trying to figure out. Because it's cut into 3, so I can't put 4 bits.
So where does the 1 go?
Does it need to be super equal?
You're drawing it, you can draw it however you like. Okay, so you've got 0 there. And then where would 1 go?
There.
So the number 1.
Oh.
A whole.
Okay, a whole would go here.
Would go there. Okay, great. Thank you. So have a look at this number line. Can you show me where 6/3 would go? Can you label 6/3 on your number line?
So 6/3.
Yeah, can you show me where on that number line? Where would 6/3 go? So here is 0, here is 1, here is 2. Where would 6/3 go?
Oh.
Okay. Where would 11/6 go? 11/6. So this is 0. There's 1.
Okay.
There's 2. Where would 11/6 go?
11/6. Here.
Why do you think that?
Because if this is if it's in thirds, then
We're now talking about 6ths. So why are you thinking 11/6 goes there? Can you just explain why you've put it just before the 2?
Because if you cut it into thirds, like you cut it into thirds, and then you would have 3. You would have 3 here, and then if you made it into 6th, it would be 6th here, and then if I did another one, it would be 12/6. But you said 11.
Exactly.
So
Okay, thanks. Okay, so let's have a look at the pizzas. 3 pizzas were shared equally between 5 girls. How much pizza does each girl get?
1/2 and 1/10.
And how did you work that out?
Because there are 5 girls. Can I draw on it? So I can show you.
You can draw on a piece of paper.
Okay. So there are 5 girls. So there's 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And each of them need an equal amount of pizza. So if there are 3, then if I cut each of them in half, there are 6, but there are only 5. So each of them get a half. And then there's 1/2 left. This has already been taken. So there's 1/2 left. And then because there are 5 girls, I would cut the half into 5. So I'm just trying to figure out how to. 5. So each of them would get 1/5, but because it's a half, it technically would be a 10th.
Okay, so if you, how can you tell me what fraction of a pizza that is?
A 10th or a half.
So the whole amount that each girl gets, what fraction of a pizza is that?
So each girl gets half and a 10th. So so each girl would get in like that. So no, they would
one
get,
half and 1/10. One.
No, I don't know how to write it. So they'd get a half and a 10th.
Okay. So I want you to have a look at this pink rectangle. If this is 2/3 of a shape, can you draw me the whole shape?
So what? If it's 2/3?
So if this shape is 2/3, can you show me
2/3?
the whole shape? So you can use another piece of paper if you like.
So if this is 2/3.
Yep. Can you draw me the whole shape? What's your thinking there?
Well, so if this is 2/3 and it's cut into thirds, if this is 2/3, then I just need half of this, which would be 1/3, to make the whole shape, and this is approximately what the whole shape would
Okay.
be.
Now what about this shape? This is 4/3. Can you show me the whole? If this is 4/3 of a shape, what's the original shape?
How do you have 4/3?
So that's 4/3. I'm telling you that this shape is 4/3. Can you show me what a whole shape would be if that is 4/3?
Wouldn't it be quarters if it was cut into 4? How do you?
So I'm telling you that's 4/3, that shape there.
So
And I need you to show me what the original whole shape would be looking like. So this shape here,
there's 4 of these.
So I'm talking about this shape.
Yeah.
So that's 4/3. Can you show me the whole shape before it was made into 4/3?
I don't know how you could have 4/3, so just making it 3/3 because that's a whole.
Okay, so you know that
I get it.
3/3 is a whole.
Yeah.
So can you show me 4/3 on there? Can you show me this broken up into thirds?
Can I draw on it?
Yeah.
But then I'd have to. If you had. How can you have 4/3 that are equal? I'm not really sure what you mean.
Okay. So this one here, we're going to look at making a sum. You've got these numbers. And I want you to choose from these numbers to form two fractions that when you add them together are close to 1 but not equal to 1. So you're going to use these cards. You can use them to make a sum.
Yep.
That is less than 1. Very close to 1 but less than 1.
Okay.
I just want you to share your thinking. The idea is to form two fractions that when we add them together are close to 1 but not equal to 1. Explain how you know the answer would be close to 1.
Because if you're, oh sorry, no, wait, hold on, wait, I think I'm doing it wrong, wait. And I forgot how to do it, wait. There.
So can you explain how you know the answer would be close to 1?
Because, if you're...
So we don't want the answer to be more than 1, we want it to be less than 1.
We know it's dividing, I don't really know how to do this one.
So
Can I draw somewhere to figure it out? So it shouldn't equal 1? So it needs to equal less than 1?
It's got to be less than 1.
Okay. So almost 1, but less than 1. So how would you cut it to 7? Just pretend those are equal.
So do you think 1/7 is going to be smaller than 1/6?
Yep.
So it'll be a fraction of that. So that's less than 1.
Yep.
Okay, so show me what it'll be. Okay. Thank you. Next one is looking at these fraction pairs. Can you point to the larger fraction? Which fraction do you think is larger?
This one.
And how did you decide that?
Because they're both cut into 8 pieces. It's just that one of them has 3 8s and then one of them has 7.
Okay, so there. So the larger one is
7/8.
7/8. Okay.
Well, they both equal the same thing. They'd both be a half.
Okay.
This one's more.
Why is that?
Because 1/2 is half, and then 4/8 is half, but there's 5/8, so
Okay.
it's half and a bit more.
Okay. What about these two?
What is the 2 representing in here? Is it representing a half, or this one's more?
Okay. Why is that?
Because there's 4 of them.
There's 4 of them.
Okay. 4/5 is more.
Okay. Why is that?
Because if that was a 6, then it would be 2/3, but it's not a 6, so it's a bit less than 2/3. And then the 5, if it was a 6, it would be 2/3, but it's not. It's less than 6, so it's more than 2/3 because its area is bigger than 1/6.
Okay. And this one?
This one's bigger.
Why is that?
Because the 8 is like a half and a bit, and then this isn't a half. It's less than a half. Is that the, Well, I think it's the same thing. I'm just trying to see if it's correct. Let's pretend this is equal. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same.
Looking for the fraction that is bigger.
I think that one's bigger.
Larger. And why is
That one, because a 6 is bigger than an 8.
A 6 is bigger than an 8. Okay.
That one's bigger.
And why is it?
Because there's only... Hold on. Figuring out how to draw a line. this is the same as all that. That one, yeah, this one's bigger.
Why is that?
Because you can't have a whole quarter of 9. So there's a little bit less that there's not as much in this one because 4 can be cut into 4 bits, but 9 can't have any quarters, or can't have whole quarters. It needs to have halves and thirds and stuff. So this one.
So which one do you think's bigger?
The 3 over 4.
3 over 4 is bigger than 7 over 9.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I just want you to look at this one here, part A. What number is this point on the number line where the arrow is?
1.3.
Okay, have a look at part B. What number is this point on the number line?
What point?
That arrow?
Well, it's not on this line, so it has to be 8 and half of 8. 8.8 8.05, so half of a 0.1.
Okay, and this one here? How much medicine in milliliters, is in this syringe?
.14.
Okay, thank you. Can you name a decimal between 0.1 and 0.11? Can you name a decimal in between there?
Does it need to be in the right spot?
Just any decimal in between those two numbers. Okay. How many decimals are between those two numbers?
10.
Okay. Using these little number cards, you've got a decimal point there, and you've got some blank number cards there as well.
So what are the blank number cards for?
Can you use these cards to show me what 2/10 would look like as a decimal? 2/10.
So what are the blank number cards for?
Just in case you wanted to write a number on them. Can you show me 2/10 as a decimal? Use these cards to show me what 2/10 would look like as a decimal.
So am I allowed to add a number on the blank cards?
Yeah. 2/10 as a decimal.
Not sure if this makes any sense.
2/10 as a decimal. Okay. Can you show me what 27 thousandths would look like as a decimal? 27 thousandths. Stop looking at me like that. 27 thousandths.
How am I going to figure that out?
Okay, have a go.
I think I'll need a bit more than
27
7 cards.
27 thousandths as a decimal.
Can we skip this question?
Sure. Could you use some of these cards to show me what 10/10 would look like as a decimal? 10/10. What 10/10 look like as a decimal?
Does it need to have the point thing?
10/10. What about 27/10? Okay. I want you to have a look at these decimals. I'm just going to take these away. Just have a look at these decimals. Can you put these numbers in order from the smallest decimal to the largest decimal? Smallest to the largest.
Just going to flip around first. So smallest to biggest?
Smallest to the biggest.
Just put them like this. So this is the smallest.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, well done. Thank you very much. Have a look at this grid. There are 100 squares here and 6 have been shaded. What fraction of squares has been shaded?
6 100ths.
Is there another fraction name for that? Is there another name for 6 100ths?
Can I use decimals?
We're after a fraction name. How would you write that as a decimal?
So a fraction is like this. And then, what did you say? Another word for
Another
a fraction?
Another fraction, yeah. How would you write that number as a fraction?
I did.
Or a decimal, sorry. How would you write that as a decimal? Okay. Is there a percentage name for that? Is there a percentage name for that fraction?
You write it like this.
That's a percentage. That's how you make a percentage, yeah.
How do you do it again?
So just say you did a test, it was out of 100, you got 6 out of 100, what percentage would that be? What percentage did you get for the test?
I don't know how to write it, but it's 6%.
6%.
6%.
Okay.
Over 100%.
Okay, great. Have a look at these decimals. I just want you to choose the number which is larger.
0.3
is larger. The next one.
0.6.
So this one's 0.3. Moving down to this one.
Oh, wait.
So out of these two, which one is larger?
Oh, so out of these two, which one's larger?
Yes. You said 0.3.
Yeah.
So we're moving on to the next one.
0.9.
And then this one.
0.8.
This one.
0.6. 0.887.
Okay.
0.3, 0.2, 0.7, 0.9, 0.09, and 0.7.
Which of these would result in a larger answer?
This one.
And why is that?
Because, can I draw on it? Mm-hmm. Because 8 times 0.1, you'd get 0.9. and then 8 divided by 0.1 is like how many times does 8 go into 0.1? And it goes into 0.10 times and then remainder 8. But yeah, so that would equal 0 and that would equal 0.8. And that one's bigger. Wait, no. Wait. This one's bigger.
You think this one's bigger?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you've got 2 music cards to choose from. Sometimes people buy cards to download songs for the internet. Here are 2 such cards, a Pod Tunes and a New Tunes. With Pod Tunes you get 16 songs for $24. With New Tunes you get 12 songs for $20. Which music card is the better value? If you want a piece of paper to do your working, you can. So which one is the better value? Which music card is the better value?
I don't know. This one might be. 5 times 4 equals 20. And then 4 can go into 12. So
how many times does 4 go into 12?
3 times.
3 times. And how many times does 4 go into 20?
5 times. Are they the same?
Is that what you think?
Oh, I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Okay.
No, wait. Well, so 4 can go into 25 times, and then 4 can go into 24 6 times. So it's 4 over 5 or 4 over 6?
4 over... So this one is 4
over 6.
Over 6. That one is
4 over 6. And that also equals to 1/3, which is what I wrote earlier. Or 4 over 5. And
so how many times does 4 go into 12?
3 times.
Okay. So which one do you think is the better value?
So 4 over 6 or 4 over 5? So 5th left, or so that one is more value.
That's better value. Okay, thanks.
It took me ages, but I figured it out.
Okay. Not long ago, the Reserve Bank announced that interest rates were going up by 1/4%. How would you write 1/4% with numbers? 1/4%. A 1/4%. How would you write that with numbers?
Oh.
How would you write 1/4% with numbers?